Hello, we're going to have a quick little sharpening lesson here because I've got a young friend who wants to start carving. So we're going to show him very quickly how to sharpen a knife. Only need a few things for this. Basically what you need is a medium India stone and a strop of some kind. This is my fancy strop. We can use that. That's leather treated with oil. And you need a honing oil. You can't use a regular oil like 3-in-1 or something because that lubricates between the steel and the stone. You need a honing oil that will not keep the steel from hitting the stone, but will just wash away the particles as they get ground off. You also need paper towels to wipe up the mess and to clean the stone a bit. My stone's a little dirty, so we'll clean that up. Okay, and in a second I'm going to zoom in here and just get this all so we get the details on this. One little accessory I've got is this rubber pad here to keep my stone from slipping around. Put some stone on that, and we're going to start with a jackknife. This is my old timer, my original, my very old knife. Now you're grinding steel against stone, so this is not a gentle operation. First time I started sharpening, I didn't want to scratch my knife, so I was very light and it got nowhere. So you're going to apply a good firm force, and the main thing is to keep that angle between the blade and the stone perfectly rigid as you move back there. You don't want to roll the knife. That's bad. You want a nice flat plane for that cutting edge. Okay, so we push down, we move the blade with this hand, we push down against the stone with the other hand and maintain that angle and just grind that stone very quickly. Takes 30 seconds or so. Where the blade curves up at the end, you got to dig in a little bit there like that, and you do that until a very specific point that's very easy to detect. After we grind it a little, I'll show you. We're grinding steel, so we're using some force. Okay, and the little microscopic particles are getting carried away by the liquid, the honing oil. And then you run your finger across the blade like that, and you will feel a burr. I do not have a burr yet, so I'm going to keep going. Once you feel that burr, that's as far as you can go. You stop right then. There's nothing more to be done. You will not get any further doing this. No burr yet. This blade actually has a pretty good edge on it, so we're not going to get much of a burr. But I want to detect something. So we're just grinding here, grinding steel on stone. And I got a little tiny bit of a burr. Now, the second that burr occurs, we flip the knife and we go the other way until we get the burr onto the other side. Firm pressure. And keep that angle steady. Okay. Now, if I had a microscope, I could show you, but we got a little burr that we've moved from side to side, and we'll have a nice shiny edge, a nice flat shiny edge seen in the light. Don't do that, by the way. Do this, okay? And actually, I can see in the light, I've still got a dead spot on this knife right here. So I'm going to go a little bit, because this has got a curved edge, and I was sharpening flat. So we're going to dig in there a little bit more to get that curved spot that I missed. You can see I'm keeping the blade at the same angle, but I'm kind of rolling it across the stone now. And we go the other way. And, oh, there we go. Got nice. You look at it in the light, you catch the light's reflection, you can see what you got. Okay, so I got a burr on this side. So now the stone is done. Done, done, done. Nothing more you can do there. You can go to finer and finer and finer stones, but there's no point to it. You've got a good edge with that medium India stone. And now this is leather. It's been treated with oil and it's been impregnated with a fine powder, just sprinkled on there like salt, but a very fine jeweler's powder for polishing metal. And now I'm going to pull. I've got the burr down and I'm going to pull at that same angle, and all I want to do is I'm going to keep rocking that burr back and forth until it breaks off. And when it breaks off, then I flip over and do the other side. We just rock it back and forth until it breaks off, and once that happens, you've got a razor edge on that knife. You've seen the barbers do this in the old movies. Well, this is what they're doing. They're just rocking that burr back and forth. It's the structure of steel, the way it is. This is why good steel can have a finer edge, because it has a finer particle grain, a finer particle size along the edge, so you can get a finer edge on there because it takes less steel. Got a little burr left there. Go there. No burr, no burr, a little more. Boom, there we go. Okay, and you can shave my hand. Okay, so there we go. That was it. Now, phase 2. That's my jackknife, that's all set. Is a gouge, because you're going to get into chisels. This is a gouge. It has a curved shape this way. This is where you need your shape stones. Again, we go with an India stone, and we put some oil on it to keep it working, keep the particles able to float away. And on this, we keep the stone, the blade still, and we're going to work the stone at a constant angle across that edge. Again, this gouge is pretty sharp, but it could use a little touch-up. Okay, so again, I'm grinding steel, so we're using good force. We go right from edge to edge, and I roll the gouge across this rounded edge of the stone until I create that burr. Got it. There's my burr. I feel my burr. And now, now we do the other side. Get a little oil on there, and again, keep a constant angle. You see, I'm using my little finger there to keep that angle right. And we go across that thing. On the outside now, again, rolling the gouge across that stone. You can hear this too. If you listen closely, you'll know if you're staying flat on the plane or if you're coming off too steep. You want to keep a nice flat edge on that bevel. So I keep that bevel nice and flat until we get the burr on this side. It's back onto this side. It's off that side. So now once again we hone, and I've got grooves cut in here to fit my different gouges. So I pull that across there, and again, you can hear it. You hear it's not grabbing anything now. Okay, so now the burr's on the other side. I flip it. I think it goes in this hole. Here, that's got kind of a tearing sound, and that'll smooth out after a minute. I'm also rolling a little bit here because this groove is a little bit too, not quite the right shape for this gouge. It's good enough to do it in, but I have to roll as I go. Oh, nice. A little burr there. We'll take a little more off. Actually, it'll get tinier and tinier burrs, so you can do this several times back and forth on the honing. This is the honing part as opposed to the sharpening. Honing is basically polishing that edge and getting that burr back and forth until it's gone. There we go, all set. So there you go, very quick thing. You come across the blade to feel how sharp it is, and then you shave your arm, but don't do that. There's your gouge, that's it, done.